What's up, Guardians? J-Man here, and today we're talking about Season 19's potential Crucible meta. Bungie recently put out a meaty TWAB breaking down loads of incoming ability changes, including a list of buffs to Stasis. Now, if you ask me, the Stasis subclasses are already pretty powerful in PvP. No matter what insane abilities Bungie implements into the game, Stasis is always there to slow, freeze, and shut down everything in its path. So the fact that these subclasses are getting even better is pretty nuts. Taking a look at the TWAB, the first change is a buff to Stasis Slow, which will increase movement penalty by 10%. So if you get hit by a Dustfield grenade or a shuriken, it's going to be a little more difficult to run from that situation. We also have an interesting change to Cold Snap grenades, which will now be able to adjust their trajectory for half a second after creation. Oftentimes when throwing these things, they get really attached to a single target and can be avoided pretty easily. But now, Cold Snaps will be a little less predictable and harder to evade. In addition to Slow getting buffed, Dustfield grenades themselves are also getting an update. Dustfields will have an increased slow stack application rate, meaning you will get frozen quicker while stuck in the Dustfield globe. A few Stasis aspects will now be able to slot additional fragments. Both Winter Shroud for the Revenant Hunter and Cryoclasm for the Behemoth Titan will have their fragment slots increased from 1 to 2. Shadebinder is getting a buff to Glacial Harvest, which will now have a reduced cooldown on Stasis Shard creation from 15 seconds down to 10 seconds. And finally, we have a buff to Whisper of Rending, which will now provide bonus damage to Stasis crystals and frozen targets for all primary ammo weapons rather than just kinetic primaries. Honestly, this is how it should have worked from the start, but will help out Shadebinder since they don't have as many options to shatter crystals. So after reading through all these changes, you can already start to theory craft builds and synergies and exotics that might make their way into the meta. And if you have some ideas that you plan on testing out, definitely let me know in the comments below. However, for this video, there are two loadouts that came to mind that I would like to share. The first being Revenant Hunter with the exotic helmet Mask of Bakris. Over the past year or so, we've unfortunately received nerfs to movement tech such as sliding and jumping. So an alternate way to outmaneuver your opponents is with the Bakris Light Shift. You can combine Bakris with Winter Shroud and Shuriken since both of those abilities will now provide more slow to your opponents. And Winter Shroud will have an extra fragment slot for more build crafting potential. This is a great opportunity to throw Dustfield grenades into the mix since they have a short cooldown and are also receiving that nice slow rate buff. Another potential loadout to look into is Shadebinder with Eye of Another World. Now I'm sure most of y'all are saying, but J-Man, what about Osmiomancy gloves? And that's absolutely an option, but let's not forget that Cold Snaps are already getting buffed. So perhaps we don't need to use an exotic to enhance them. A reminder that Eye of Another World does highlight targets and improves the regen speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. And a lot of folks forget that it also provides a buff to airborne effectiveness for all weapons. Considering that all the abilities in Shadebinder's kit are insanely strong, getting them back even sooner from Eye of Another World would turn you into an ice-making machine. And what's great is you can pair both of these loadouts with weapons with Headstone for even more Stasis synergy. I had a great time recording this video with No Reprieve, the craftable slug shotgun from Season of the Plunder. And there's plenty of great options like IS Luna or even Peace Bond. My friends, that will conclude the video, and if you have any future meta loadouts that you would like to share, throw them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the gameplay, please help me out with a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Real quick, I seriously want to thank everyone for sticking with me towards the end of the season. These content droughts can get pretty rough, so it means a lot to me. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the Cosmodrome.